Leading figures angered. We'll hear from a member of the Council of Elders who says John Mahama must rein in the sycophants.
John Mahama is an individual. And just look at the logic. Most of these people just do not understand to invent enemies for John Mahama. It is childish, it's uninformed, and it's unscientific.
Plus, where are the 2021 render full account?
The people are legitimately asking by what margin and by what figures. They say, oh no, hold on. These are matters that are comfortability problem here.
Cement the Nation, Builder and Vodafone. Well, it has been a pretty tumultuous last 48 hours within the ranks of the main opposition National Democratic Congress, and we are beginning to learn elders. Dr. Benjamin Kumbo has disclosed how on many of NDC platforms, the colleagues, senior members, including some leading elders of the party, angered by the focus on who leads the party. And it also appears that a lot of the conversation revolves around the candidature of John Dramani to Dr. Benjamin Kumbo. In the wake of the forum that was held by the NDC cadres, attended by some founding members of the party in the Volta region. A lot of criticism had come also against the likes of Dr. Benjamin, a bunch of individuals who are holding on to the dying ideology of a ploy to make themselves relevant again. Well, we've been asking that question around John Dramani Mahama and the view that many have held, including people within the party. We'll play you clips of some party executives already can win them an election in the next 4 years. He says those who are pushing that agenda simply do not know what they are talking about and making John Mahama
learn in the NDC arrangements where we were younger and we didn't understand things. We always consulted what is history for. You learn it. Because if you do not understand the history, show that graph. Yeah. Is the movement of the party from that consistent decline? Is that what you are calling the movement of the party? You are comfortable? No, I don't think so. I'm very
struggling to accept that John Mahama is the new kid on the block.
Well, you see, that is excellent. And just look at the logic. Most of these people just do not understand what they are saying. Yesterday, and have always said that, an individual cannot own and control the party. What are you talking about today? But does that mean that John Mahama himself accepts that he is now in control of the party? I don't believe that is the way he thinks. I don't know the motivation for people to want to sandbag John Mahama in that way.
So you are aware of this perception?
I have heard on Mahama.
Has John Mahama himself done enough to deal with this problem?
If I were in John Mahama's position, and I've seen bits of it with Jerry John Rowland, where you start behaving in this sycophantic on whose health and breath John Mahama is surviving politically, many people will not take that. They will fight very good at that. People we all thought were untouchables because we believed they were literally possible. He's addressing it.
And that is Dr. Benjamin Kumbo. And by the way, he is a member of the NDC Council of Elders. And on the party platform, there's a huge conversation still raging with people expressing preferences for, John Mahama and others, making pronouncements that almost indicate their preference for Mr. John Mahama. One of them is Deputy
Mahama a chance to come and run and fix what has been broken by the Akufo-Addo government. And so the groundswell of opinion from the party base that President Mahama would be our best choice. Mahama would be a better choice. And as as others have earlier on intimated, you have a marketed candidate, very well-known candidate, very loved by all, somebody who has won an election that has been botched, that has been altered. Then you go for to make that mistake. So that
is Mr. Otokuno there, with, of course, what he believes to be those around John Mahama, talking about what Rawlings would have done going public to rein them in, these sycophants he uses the term, rendering account to the party's rank and file, how they prosecuted lack of accountability in the area of the collated election figures, that the party's leaders the collated results from across the country. Now, Dr. Benjamin Kumo says, since those pronouncements were made, shortly. But I want to take you back to December 2020 and listen to a few of the party's leaders, including John Mahama himself.
Have won this election by some 6,166,000%.
And this was before the Electoral Commission's formal declaration. The Secretary himself, John Sasiu Nketia. Again, all this playing out before the final declaration of results by the Electoral Commission. Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amani Mahama is ahead, and we are expecting that the Electoral Commission.
So John Sasiu Nketia back then references their collated figures, which shows that they were ahead and they were about to be announced victors in the election.
Excited and happy with the results, and we won in 10 regions out of 16, and the Ghanaian people have expressed
himself back then saying they won in 10 regions out of 16. And so based on what collated figures exactly was he speaking from the General Secretary, the Deputy, John Mahama himself, that they simply had the figures? Well, simply have not been giving any indication that those figures exist. He says, as a member of the party's council, render full account and produce these figures to the party's rank and file now. Listen to his argument.
Immediately after the election results were coming, we started seeing figures coming, springing up, through the figures and collation that the party had done. Why is it that those figures did not find their way to the court? If you go back, and I still have a number of those figures, that in this region we got this, in this region, and you take the figures that people are now talking about, again, very much like the Electoral Commission, there are discrepancies. Political accountability is vertical and horizontal. That you account down to the grassroots and account. People don't know today what exactly are the collated figures from 2020 elections. I can show you many more. People, I was a member. We went around this country when we went to opposition in 2000 on reorganization. A report was done. Recommendations were made. I don't know how many of them. And holding a party office is one of reorganization of the party. Can you tell us what has happened since you know it is a failure, possible failure, of implementing those recommendations that you find yourself need vision, in which we take you back and ask these questions?
I find it fascinating. You are a member of the council.
For instance, I have read the Kwesi Bochu's report. I'm privileged to have.
Also talked about account for the collated figures for the 2020.
Precisely.
You're saying as a council of elder member, you haven't been told?
I have not seen those figures. But as a member of that council, officially, nobody has tabled those results.
Documents based on which you can plan, because if you don't have the collated figures, you don't know where you lost, why you lost, and you say you don't have that, you haven't seen it.
Yes. The question is, this is not a matter for which you ask. Because we have been believed where we stand as at now. We're told about this, and we are going to go to court, and these are the issues we are going to raise. Yes, I was part of that. Yes. When you are involved in the litigation in the public domain, because then you are feeding you at the court, it should be made available.
So who exactly must render this account?
Definitely party. You see, people are getting jittery when you are asking questions scientifically.
But why? They say they are getting jittery because you're asking it publicly.
None of an institution that is provided for in the Constitution.
And that is Dr. Benjamin Kumbo. He is a member. Thankfully, I've just been joined by the Greater Accra chairman of the party, Mr. Adekuka. Mr. Kuka, thank you for your time here on Top Story.
Good. Is it good afternoon or good evening?
Executives of the party getting jittery at these questions that Dr. Benjamin Kumbo and his colleagues, cadres, and family members are.
In the outreach, you will have seen what took place, and the questions he was asking will be irrelevant. You know, we are not a party who come. We are not obliged to bring figures to the court to say these are our figures and that is what the EC having different figures on their website. So Dr. Kumbo is a respected member of the party. He's a member of the Council of Elders. I'm sure the Council of Elders, the executives present there, the national executive present there, that they want the collated results.
It says to the rank and file of the party.
Has the rank and file come to ask for collation results? Have you seen any party since we started the Fourth Republic? Have you seen it? He has been a member of the party for a very long time. He should come and tell us, since the inception of the Fourth Republican Constitution and elections, when has a party
played a few of the clips? Many of the executives were on platforms announcing figures, specific numbers,
certain seats.
Yes, and no. Well, Otokuno mentioned
parliamentary seats.
No, Mr. Jomama talks about that he has won 10.
I was at the meeting when President Muhammad made a statement that we have won X number of seats.
He talked about that, but he also talks about.
Spoke about any figures.
The results we collected so far, and I'm excited. I'm happy with the results, and we won in 10 regions out of 16, and.
So that's him. He's won in 10 regions out of 16. Hello, Mr. Adekuka. Yes.
Did you hear him mention any figure? He mentioned a figure.
Okay, I said.
You, no figures were mentioned.
Okay, so just a second. Just a second. Let's break up presidential results.
There are two different things. Mentioning that we've won certain regions and mentioning figures are two different things.
Okay, so you agree. So what you've heard,
I'm very conversant.
Yes, but what you
it's true. Per our coalition, we want a certain number of regions. At our last outreach program, the researches that we did well, the reason that we did not win well, the percentage numbers that President Mahama beat the public domain.
Okay, but here's the thing though. Some of your executives went ahead with actual figures. This is
385, and that constitutes 50.15%.
6 million plus, making a certain percentage. That is what he said.
So the question is, where are those collated figures based on which these figures were announced?
That the NDC won the elections and something untoward happened. And the electoral commissioner came and announced certain results. That is why we went to court.
Do you have these collated figures?
To challenge the figures of the electoral commission.
Do you have the collated?
So I'm surprised that Dr. Kumbo, being a member of the Council of Elders, hasn't availed himself or asked the executives to come and render accounts. The Council of Elders are that interested in the figures. They will have asked. You just don't go and tell them, come to give you figures when they know the situation.
Rendered account to on these figures?
The rank and file of the party have not come to tell the national executive that we should come to public and garnet. You do. There are structures in the party that everybody must follow. And whatever we have to know within the party was made available to us.
Including the actual collated figures?
Exactly. They should go and meet the national executive, and they will be whatever they want to know will be made available to them. That is how it's done. Have you seen the MPP coming out to announce to the whole world the number of numbers? No. We have the ministers of state of contesting elections, right? Will go to the public and behave this way. They have had the interview you were playing on the tape. on your station, and that which has caused a lot of person like him wants to know. He knows what to do.
I mean, Mr. Adekunle, this is Dr. Benjamin Kumbo. He's not a serial
Well,
caller.
Dr. Benjamin, titles to everybody. Everybody in the NDC, whether you're a foot soldier, we are all the same people. Everybody, collective, and not about our individual selves.
You think he's thinking about his individual self?
Well, that is what is playing out there.
But
because
he's not.
He had every opportunity. He's a member of the Council of Elders, and at the meeting at home, a representative of the Council of Elders came to the meeting. Dr. Kubaji was there. Madam Kwesi was. So, and they know what. So, if anything, he could have contacted Madam Kwesi to ask her what transpired at the meeting. And the figures that
Council of Elders, Mr. Dana Bodakbi himself, is also part of those asking for the same accountability.
So that is what pains me. These are people who have had the privilege of serving the party. And they have colleagues in the party whom they always talk to. Are you telling me that there's communication and they do that? They are colleagues. They meet every time. So if they don't understand something, couldn't they have contacted their...
He also raises the point about this fight over John Mahama. He says that John Mahama has reined them in. Are you one of those?
I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen anywhere where people are divided over John Mahama telling me that this person, if he has done well, people should not talk about it. And if you talk about it, you're a sycophant who led the charge for us to attain that level. When we talk about him, is it sycophancy? I would prefer to be a sycophant then.
He says
what they are talking about. Please, Evans, I think you need to withdraw that.
No, I mean,
are you belittling the intelligence? Are you belittling their intelligence?
He's not talking about
anything about what they did.
He's not talking about the way are already very busy singing one person's praise and making the party about him.
What is wrong? I just espouse the fact that able to rise to that magnitude, and you talk about him, you don't know what you are talking about.
But doesn't that detract from what?
Because of what to do, anybody who is in a party knows if you have a problem, where you go and have your disclaimer of the party. Leave that to those who will carry placards on the streets. But you expect someone like Adekunle. I mean, if I have a problem, I know where to go. And that is what we are saying. I thought you would talk about those who have been killed, those 8 people who have lost their lives, and that's what the government should be doing about it. Please. These are people are hurting. And then we end up talking about NDC divided. No. People are hurting. Every day this, every day that, every day this, every day that, and why? And these are people who have become ministers of defense. They have enjoyed the largesse of the party. So they should know better. Those who voted for them and who have not enjoyed the largesse are hurting.
And that is the Greater Accra chairman of the NDC speaking to us.